Hi, and warm welcome to me, Ivar Kristoffersson, and an Evolutionary Astrology Zoom meeting from the age of PISCES to the age of Aquarius. I want to do a part 2 of this one. And I thank you so much for watching, listening to this video. And thank you also, Linda, and all the community that I'm so grateful to be able to share my perception of the astrology and of the Ascension process that we are in the midst of right now. And I recommend, if you haven't seen part 1 with me, check it up. So, you see this image here, and this then is our origin in this galaxy. It's a rest of a supernova. It's called the cosmic eye. It's said to be the second most known object from the space after the rings of Saturn, and it's beautiful, isn't it? And this is situated at 21 degrees of Capricorn, and it's the origin of humanity in Milky Way. Some very long time ago, 4 billion years ago, something like that, in the Lyra constellation. And then there was star and planets, and then this star has become a supernova and giving this now the cosmic eye, which is a nebula that is feeding new stars, giving life to new possibilities. So the beauty of this one is really blowing me away. And I want to connect this with the situation of the stars today and of the planets. And yeah, I also, perhaps you saw the invitation. I've changed my channel name on YouTube to Soul Warrior Energy. Soul Warrior Energy. And that's I'm doing quantum astrology, numerology, tarot, runes, but I found out that quantum astrology was occupied by a site since 1996, a Vedic astrology site. And then I wanted to have a name that's connected to me. So it's a little of those number jokes that I love. Soul Warrior Energy, that SWE, that's Sweden, the code for Sweden, okay? And I learned from a friend here in Sweden that Soul Warrior, that's SW in Sweden, then Soul Warrior Eden, the Garden of Eden. That's some part of the part I will do. And also it's like this, my name in Swedish, it's a Nordic name, and the first I, it's Ivar, and the first I, perhaps you can't see it, it's the arrow, and that's the rune for Tivas, Tor, and that's the arrow of the Sagittarius, the centaur, and it's the truth, the soul seeking the truth. And Var, the last part of my name after the I, that's the warrior. So my name is the soul warrior. The meaning in in Nordic language is the soul warrior. So that's why I've chosen this name. And Linda, if you please can change to the next slide. I changed by another friend. I got to know about this Vesak full moon recently, and I wanted to. That's the next coming full moon, 30th of April here in Sweden, and in Australia. In US, it will be in the evening, the 29th. And I wanted to connect this with my presentation. And so I selected this one instead of today's energy. It's only some days before this full moon. And it's such great energies. So I'm still so stunned of this astrology and giving so much, and only I doing one part in this. It has just been an explosion of astrology in what I can see in this world, and that's fantastic because it's giving us so much about ourselves, to learn about ourselves and to come into this self-love that we need in this ascension. And we are doing so great. And this Vesak full moon, if you have the chance, use the days now. They're coming up to this full moon and after the full moon to connect with yourself, to connect with the source. And we are, as light workers, really changing this world right now. And Vesak, of course, it's the Scorpio full moon. You have Scorpio here. And it's connected with Buddha, the Buddha consciousness. And Buddha's sun was at 20 degrees of Scorpio here. And after the full moon, the moon will travel up to conjunct Jupiter there. But first we have the full moon. It's very intense, powerful full moon in Scorpio, going deep, and it's a release of everything that we don't need. We have to let go. And of course we had this very interesting new moon recently in late Aries at 26 degrees with the Uranus at 28 degrees and Mercury gone direct at that time, and Chiron got into Aries, healing our individuality, and also Saturn gone retrograde, Pluto gone retrograde around those days where we had the new moon. So the intention for that, if you can remember, in mid-April, will now come up to a release in the full moon. And we have so much incoming energy from the solar storms, from the photon belt that Earth and the solar system now is in. And the ascension, of course, it's to find yourself, find myself in us. It's not about to ascend to a heaven. I think most of us has broken that false picture image. It's to go within. And in my experience, every time I lose myself, that's when I come outside myself and don't build my own truth, don't see everything as the mirror it is. When I'm in myself, when I connect, I can really make dark and light to be a love affair of my own being, and to find my balance, everything. And astrology is helping me so much in my life, and I hope I can show you some parts of that today. And this ascension then, I want to take history for this. I talked about, before we go into the full moon, I want to talk about the history, and I talked about 20 degrees of Capricorn, where this cosmic eye, you see it there to the right. The cosmic eye, the M57, the origin of our Milky Way, the humans in the Milky Way, was at that degree. And now we have Pluto retrograde there, and we have Mars here. And the days before Mars are really smashing Pluto there. That's two, the rulers of Scorpio, for me together with Osiris, the Egyptian king, very, very powerful conjunction, Mars and Pluto, changing a lot. And I just today saw a chart from 1965. You know, we had in Virgo, the Pluto-Uranus conjunction with Mars, and every of those planets was retrograde. And this here, 2012, I think Pluto went to a square with Uranus. So we have these big cycles. And now it's time to let go of even more of the false reality that we have been in for so many thousands of years, and to find the truth, the Sagittarian truth about what's really the reality in this world, in this three-dimensional world, the holographic world. And what we now realize more and more is that we create our own reality, the quantum I am with the Aries energy, Uranus still here, and Mercury and Chiron. So here, 20 degrees of Capricorn. Okay, there's also something else there that is very interesting. It's the Pluto polarity south node is very close there. According to SolarFire, my software, it's at right now at 22 degrees of Capricorn. And that's, you know, the moon has a south node and a north node. Now it's 10 degrees of Aquarius, the south node of the moon, the emotional origin. And then what we are heading into, it's 10 degrees of Leo here. Every planet has a south node and a north node. I spoke about that last time. And I will go through the outer planets because they are very interesting in this situation for the Ascension. And these are what I know the most long cycles that we have, the planetary nodes of the outer planets. And Pluto's south node is at 22 degrees of Capricorn, and the north node is at 19 degrees of Cancer. And the planetary south and north node don't have to be directly opposite. It can be some degrees off. In Capricorn, we also have two others. We have Saturn south node, planetary south node, right now at the end of Capricorn, 29 degrees. And the Saturn north node is at 17 degrees of Cancer, very close to the Pluto planetary north node. Okay, we have Jupiter, planetary south node at 21 degrees here, exactly where this conjunction is, the transit conjunction, and north node is in early Cancer. So we have three of the big outer energy planetary nodes in south nodes in Capricorn and north nodes in Cancer. Just that is blowing away. And when then Pluto comes back to its own south node, you know something really is up to happen. And soon Saturn will join this party in late Capricorn, And we will have Jupiter here also in the coming years. And you see the moon's south node is traveling here also soon, coming into Capricorn. So we have a shift of the Capricorn energy, the false Capricorn, the patriarchy, the hierarchy, the dominant energy for 8,000, 10,000 years are now dissolving more and more. It's cracking right now, and you will see a lot of more coming up, revealed and exposed about this system that is so, in my perception, so false, so terrible, non-human. And people will be shocked about what will happen. And they are already shocked because they are not prepared. And as an astrologer and also as a soul warrior, I have worked so much with myself, releasing. And I think many of you that listen, most of you are also light workers that have done this. Now is the time for us to really shine from within and not let the outer world's chaos change us. We are the future. We are the starseeds coming here to Earth with this frequency of light and love. And this is now changing things, because we need to open up this axis to Cancer to get the Cancer nurturing, the moon, emotional, comforting, taking care of things in balance with the Capricorn creation of reality. This is what really this whole world is going to, from this false domination, false Capricorn, to a connection. I won't say that we go into only Cancer, because we need to end the polarities, we need to end the dualities, we need to find the 0 point, everything that brings these energies together so that we can be whole at last. But we need a lot more of this water nurturing home that Cancer is. Cancer is the first sign that has every aspect. You had fire in Aries, we have earth in Taurus, we have air in Gemini, and then water in Cancer. And we have cardinal, fixed, flexible, mutable, and cardinal again. So Cancer is our home. And we need to find our home in ourselves. And we have a really big message to all of us here with this Vesak full moon. And Vesak is also a celebration in the East and in the West to bring the Buddha and the Christ together. To bring every faith together. The Unity Festival. And the message here in the chart is also this. You see, south node of the moon, 10 degrees of Aquarius. What's more there? That's the Neptune planetary south node. It's here. It's at 13 degrees right now in Capricorn. No, in Aquarius. Neptune planetary, our spirit, quantum spirit, our spirit planet that's in transit is here in the middle of Pisces, its own sign, very powerful. But the planetary node of Neptune is here. And the planetary north node of Neptune is here. And that's exactly on 10 degrees. It's 10 degrees 6 minutes of Leo. And you see, here's the north node of the moon, and here's Ceres, Demeter, Mother Earth, asteroid planet. So this brings in what this ascension is about. And this full moon for me tells so much about this, the whole period. Not only this small, but the big period also. And I want to talk shortly about the period, because in 1,000 years, for example, the Neptune planetary nodes change 9 degrees in 1,000 years, approximately. And for the approximately the same, Pluto's a little more according to solar fire. Saturn also 19 degrees, Jupiter also, Saturn also 9 degrees per 1,000 years. So it's extremely long cycles for the planetary nodes. And we have one more of the big one, that's Uranus. The beautiful, shocking, rebel Uranus. Its planetary south node is here in Sagittarius, 16 degrees of Sagittarius, and its north node is in Gemini, 12 degrees of Gemini. And the Uranus planetary south node is very near the great attractor at 14 degrees of Sagittarius. That's a big anomaly, the biggest gravitational field in this universe. It's said, we don't really know what it is, the astronomers, but it can be 100,000 galaxies bringing this extreme gravity on. And of course, all these gravity are portals for dimensional time travels, as many of as the full moon is also. And this is well known in astrology to give very powerful effects, this 14 degrees of Sagittarius. And in physics, this is where everything in this universe rotates around this one, around this point. And yeah, Chiron. And we had a presentation for Simon Vasta, I can recommend it, on EA Zoom recently about the Neptune south and north planetary nodes, and also a presentation about the Chiron nodes. And the Chiron nodes, Chiron, the planet now got into areas healing our individuality, and where we haven't been able to create our lives. That's up now to heal during 8 years. To be able to create from within, from ourselves, for our own new reality. And Chiron's south, planetary south or asteroid south node is here at the 29 degrees of Aries, where Uranus is right now. And the north planetary node of Chiron is at late Libra here. And one very interesting when I checked Chiron is that this wounded healer planetary south node and north node doesn't really move at all the coming 1,000 years, because the planetary nodes sorry, the planetary nodes are also moving very slowly. I spoke about 9 degrees per 1,000 years for the outer planets. But sometimes they also come to a movement and then slows down and goes retrograde. And that's what's happening with Chiron. So Chiron planetary south node and north node will be forever here at this. And that's also very, very interesting. Yeah. If we see this as an astrologer, you of course check the full moon. And we have set Saturn, and then I have to bring in some numerology. I feel that it's too less numerology. 939, 9 degrees 39 minutes. Exact, according to astro.com, for the full moon, 13th of April. 9 is the infinity number. It's the spirit number. It's the totality number. It's the sum of everything. It's the magic number that all this astrology, nearly all of the aspects, sums up to. Opposition 180 degrees, that's 1/8, that's 9. If you sum them, you do that in numerology. The square is 90, that's 9, etc. So the 9 is known as this fulfillment. And 3 is a harmonic of 9. If you take 3, 3, 3, you get 9. Isn't it the beauty with this? 9, 3, 9. Okay. And then we have the Scorpio energy here. And Saturn is also at 9 degrees of Capricorn. So we have a very interesting trine here to the sun and a sextile to the moon, giving us a great opportunity to land this energy of the full moon here in our reality. Our own reality on Earth with the Saturn. And this axis here, the moon, that's 10 degrees. That's the one. The pioneer, the new start, the number 10. And it's a square from the sun and the moon to the nodal axis here. If we follow this, you see that we have a quadrant here around. Perhaps you can see it. And this means, if I really take it in a personal chart, we talk about skipped step. When we have any, not sun, but planet or moon or asteroid in 90 degrees to the moon's nodes. And here we have the emotional, intuitive, feminine moon in nearly exactly 90 degrees to the nodal axis at this full moon. And this for me means that we need to release the emotions that we have stored in ourselves. And that we have a world, this is a world energy going on. And we have a world problem with this we have had, and now it's time to solve this, because we have so much suppression, so much abuse, so much of emotional violence. Real violence is also emotional. Yeah, emotional violence is also real, but every violence will give stored emotions in our body, and that one we bring with us with the DNA when we get rebirthed. And if we are too much in fear, we get stuck in the karma cycle. We're not getting help to get out of this. But here, this ascension brings up, and this full moon brings up a fantastic opportunity to release your stored energy, because it's in Scorpio. It's done for this. The Scorpio is as ruled by Mars and Pluto, as the phoenix. Let the old go, let it die, and from the ashes we will be rebirthed to a new life. And then we have this. What are we heading for? And if you do the skip step, you stand at this planet, or moon in this case, and then you should concentrate on this one. The North Node in Leo with Demeter, our Earth. to be the royal Leo, to illuminate, to shine, to express, and to take care of the earth here. And I want to continue because this transformation, the Pluto transformation that I spoke about, bringing Capricorn and Cancer together, it's so important that we use this energy that is in this axis with the Neptune, the spirit, because we primarily are from the same source. We are one. And the creator, there's no time at that place. Creator decided to fractal, to separate to parts, and then that's going on, giving everything that we now experience. So when we realize that, we can bring it together and end our three-dimensional agony and going into the love of the fifth dimensional and higher. And this axis here is really giving so much information about this. The south node here in Aquarius, we have the very independent Aquarian, not following anyone but him herself. We have the uniqueness, we have the air that is more the space, the quantum room that is everywhere. We have infinite possibilities to bring into this Leo expression. And this Leo here, it's not the old ego, not the one that misuses the power, not the one that abuses or is narcissistic. This Leo that's coming up now is in connection with the Earth and in connection with the Neptune nodal axis. So this Leo, the north node of Leo here, both for the moon and for the Neptune planetary north node, means that we bring in the spirit here. We are shining with the spirit connection, not with the old separated when we were off the connection. Now we have the connection and we are shining very confident and truly ourselves and unique. We bring in the uniqueness of Aquarius, not the conformity that we have had, not the fears. We are fearless, we are shining in our own lives. And we realize that we can create our own lives from within. So we shine and we express and we care less and less what others think about us. And now is the beauty that now it's the time when frequency and energy of Earth has changed so much that we are not persecuted anymore for doing this. Only for 10 or 20 years ago, it wasn't possible to share this, that many now share. And don't to tell for 300, 400, 500 years ago or longer. There, you know, all the witches, magicians, shamans that has been isolated, put to death, or in prison, etc., for speaking the truth about the false hierarchy, about the Illuminati, about the old system. Now it's the time that we can speak about it. We can let the shine of love be seen in the world, because now we have evolved together with the Earth. And we are in connection with the Neptune planetary north node, our spirit, most And the North Node is what we are heading for as a community, as a whole society, the whole Earth is heading in this direction. Yeah, and it's so beautiful. And so I want to read about that, those degrees here from Inside Degrees, and that's Elias and Sarah Lonsdale. You can find it on internet if you search for Inside Degree, Elias and Lonsdale, but he wrote it together with his wife Sarah Lonsdale, and it's building on 3 main degree interpretations that are also awesome. Dane Rudya's concept of the Sabian symbols, Mark Edmund Jones' Sabian symbols in astrology, and John Sandberg's recent Chandra symbols. And first, I want to read Aquarius 13 degrees, because there is the Neptune polarity south node, 13 degrees of Aquarius. One moment. A lidless granite sarcophagus, it is empty. There is nothing to go back to. The past has become a phantom. You are propelled forward into the great unknown. But it is so easy to become somewhat desperate and out of context. So much depends upon how you interpret the fact that you are strictly on your own without a personal history or heritage to fall back upon. Is this real opportunity or strange fate? It is very hard to tell the difference, as it all becomes ambitious, paradoxical, very mixed. Where do you go from here? No easy answers anywhere. Perhaps the only thing to do is to acknowledge and move with this radical opening and put no interpretations on it, assuming nothing at all. For if you can welcome multidimensionality with truly open arms, it might well turn out that the future has never supposed to be like the past, and that becoming so free does provide an open access channel for what needs to happen, to come through a jump ahead of the last moment, synchronized with Evolutionary beautifully. So this is the planetary south node of Neptune, and that's what we come from. And I want to comment this one. The granite sarcophagus, it's empty. The sarcophagus, you know, Isis is here at the Orion's belt, and here and Osiris is here at the Pleiades. Isis, the Egyptian queen, the Venus symbol, and she has a chamber in the Great Pyramid of Giza, and that chamber has a tunnel pointing to the fixed star Sirius. And in those chambers were a sacrifice that is empty. And it has been said then that the body, etc., was gone. But of course, those sacrifices were used as energy. And the tunnel to Sirius was used as a portal for those who managed the energies at that time when the pyramid was built and used. Pyramid can amplify the energy, giving possibilities to more dimensional travels and portal openings, etc. And it was also a sound chamber in that, the Queen's chamber. And the King's chamber in the Great Pyramid of Giza. There are two chambers. That's the Queen Chamber and the King's Chamber, Osiris Chamber, has a tunnel pointed to the Orion's belt here. And we have here, it's not drawn any aspects to the asteroids, but that's okay, Linda. But we have two fingers of gods here. Those are very important messages when we do astrology, the finger of God, the Yod. And we have one from Neptune and this Pluto, Mars to Isis. The finger of God connecting Neptune, retrograde in Scorpio, the truth, wisdom, revealing of everything hidden in Scorpio, in a sextile to the rulers, Mars and Pluto, at this magical points in Capricorn that I described recently. And those are pointing 150 degrees to Isis here. So we let go and of the old, we release the old with this full moon and everything that happens now in this ascension period. And we're heading in for the love of Venus, the love of Isis, and the Gemini transformation, interconnection, heaven with earth, to connect everything, every duality we can handle. We can handle the polarities. And we have another finger of God. You see that one here, from Venus here to Saturn and to this planetary, North Node of Neptune, the moons, North Node and Sirius. So this expression that we're now in connection with the spirit comes into the Leo energy for each of us, with the divine feminine Venus energy can be downloaded in every one of us with the Saturn in Capricorn here. So that's two finger of gods in this full moon. If we go back to the inside degrees, there's nothing to go back to. That's the release. The past has become a phantom because we've been so much in fear, and we have been hijacked and used, the most of us, and then some has used us. Sorry. So we have built our new reality from the past. And now when we release the past, where is it? The aim is to release it completely so that we can create our new reality every time, every step. You are propelled forward into the great unknown. Yes. But it's easy to become desperate, etc. And so much depends upon how you interpret the fact that you are strictly on your own, without a personal history or heritage to fall back upon. That's also very challenging to realize that I create my own reality. I am love, you are love, but you are a mirror of myself for me, etc. We all have mirrors. So we have to build our own truth. Don't take my words here as the truth. Go for your resonance. Go for your own interpretation, your own uniqueness, your own truth. Everyone has to go that way. That's the Aries energy. Everyone has to go that way to be able to create in light and to connect hate and love together. And then to not have that baggage, that density that we have, to free ourselves from that. And it's so great energies to do that in these times, more and more, and not have any expectations of the future. And it's very hard, I understand. I'm in the big process. I went into pension at Eastern, and it wasn't easy at all. It's magic, it's beautiful, but I relaxed. I got the cold. I released a lot to leave the matrix, the old matrix. I have been building up so much about working, etc. But now I'm free. I'm creating, and we need to do that work, everyone in its own way, and trust that the truth for you is your truth, no matter what anyone else tells you. To use that individuality, really, it's fixed sign, Aquarius, with enormous possibilities, the quantum possibilities to create. So you can create and don't give a shit about others. Create your own reality. Do it more and more and more, and use your power, use your energy, use your sensitivity, use your mass to take your steps. This is it a real opportunity or a strange fate? And everyone has to decide in these questions. Where do you go from here? No easy answers. I only can say one from my experience. It's so important to take your own steps. If you long for something, take the steps to get it, because those steps will bring you in a process and release. You will release, and no matter if you get what you long for, if you it doesn't matter in one way, because you are in a process. But to sit down and just think, that's not working. Try and fulfill your dreams. The North Node of Planetary Node of Neptune is then here at 10 degrees of Leo. I can tell also, perhaps we don't have time to show that, but my progressive sun is here also at 10 degrees of Leo. So I'm stepping into that energy. And that from inside degrees, what we are into to create. A man putting olive oil all over his body. Physical life is so much agony and so much ecstasy that it stretches your body's ability to move with the flux. You are called upon, behold yourself, to witness the central flame and to endow your personal embodied self with the daily rhythm of self-remembrance and self-revitalization. Can you please pause a little, Linda? Hello, Linda. Oh.
Yes, Ivar.
Yeah, did you pause?
No, we're continuing. Did you want the next slide?
No, wait, I want a little pause.
Oh, okay, right. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry. Now it's a little more for Neptune polarity North Node in Leo 10 degrees from inside the degree. You can do nothing for anybody else unless you are whole within yourself. There is an urgent call, an inward steering to offer to yourself the full power of your destiny path, to become bounded and fused with the truth of your being. There is also a transcendent power, a great selfhood presence, blessing. So that the light can burn brighter through the joy in your heart and your vital physical embodiment given through yourself to all. So check inside degrees, check every important degree with those interpretations, or take Sabian symbols if you like. It's really good to have that view on the energies that astrology shows and the aspects. I want to show something more before this ends about this full moon. And it's here in Sweden, we have the MC for the full moon at the fixed star Antares. And I see the house cusp of the fourth house at the fixed star Aldebaran. Those are royal fixed stars at 10 degrees. And Aldebaran is the Buddha star. That's the home we're coming into with this full moon, also in conjunction with Venus. So, and that's the eye of the illumination. That's the third eye, the magical royal fixed star of Aldebaran. That is worshipped for very good reasons for many, many thousands of years. And the opposite, this axis that we need to, in a healing to balance up, is the Antares, the Mars ruled, that also is about anger. And we have this situation with Mars and Pluto here at our origin. And we have a lot of anger in my perception, in my view, stored in ourselves. So we have to let it out without taking it out on others. We are not going to ascend if we are continuing these wars. And we need to find peace with ourselves, to love ourselves. But we can't stay in tune or stay in the process without releasing what's stored. So we need to release and let it out. Scream for the mirror or the pillow or whatever. Use that one, but don't go into fights. That's also a message for this magic full moon, the 13th of April here. And it will be, I think, 2:58 something in the night in Europe, and in US it will be in the evening. You can check from other sources also when it will be. And as I said in the beginning, use this time to connect, to use this magical energies to, in your life, create a new start with this release. Because when you release, you give open to new possibilities. And for me, I have done a lot of meditation, but I mix it up. It's a living meditation also. And don't be this illusioned if it's nothing, because that's very good. The nothing state, to be in nothing, that's really a great state when you then can come in connection with the source and create from that one, because we have this mind control, the mind that is really going too quick. We need to use the nature and calm down, and animals, etc. So be very glad if you come into a state of nothing. That's really a magnificent sign that you are on your way in your ascension. So, Linda, is it anything more that we need to check?
That's about it. We have 1 minute left, so if you'd like to tell people of what you offer, the services.
Yeah, I offer them quantum astrology. I have a YouTube channel. You can check my, it's not dailies, but 1 or 2 per week. And I have numerology. I have tarot and runes. And I have I'm really into Starseed readings. I have a lot of them. And use them if you feel that you belong to have origins from other stars. It's a magnificent opening to a new reality if you accept that one. And I have a new way of doing my horoscopes also, because I mix them. So not the Starseed, that's enough. It's such a big expansion. But the rest I do natal, progressive, draconic. I mix them with numerology and tarot and runes, so it's more individually than anything else I have seen. So that's I have a company now, Linda, with this and everyone else. Soul Warrior Energy is a one-person company here in Sweden. I will start the website also in time and expand my channel. So
Lovely.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you very much. What a fantastic meeting. So much information, so much helpful information. Thank you very much. Thank you from all of us. Would you please thank Ivar Kristoffersson, everybody?
Thank you, Ivar.
Thank you, Ivar. This was wonderful.
Keep loving yourself. Thank you.
We love you. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you.